Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. Let's go to the email bag
All
here.
right.
We've had several emails this week. You can email Fred directly. It's fred@planttalkradio.com, or of course just go to planttalkradio.com, our website, and click on the Ask Fred button and type your question in. This came from Jimmy, and he says, we're moving into a house with a small backyard and a well-established tree in the corner near the fences. The previous owner wrapped the bottom of the tree with plastic and then mounded mulch around it. Should we remove the mulch and the wrap?
Absolutely, and soon. Now, let me expand on that a little bit. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody putting the plastic down. But I think their purpose may have been to keep the moist mulch away from the bark. That makes some sense, except they shouldn't be mulching that deep in the first place. So, by all means, remove the plastic, remove the mulch down to no more than 2 inches deep, and then let it taper off at the trunk so that it's just barely touching the bottom flare of the trunk. It'll be the best case. Now, there's no reason not to mulch. As a matter of fact, a wider mulch bed is sometimes a happier tree. But to go more than 2 inches deep, you start to create a potential problem with water and air exchange in the soil. And both of them are needed in the soil, and that plastic would be a definite problem, and then the mulch on top of it. So, let's one more time. Mounding and mulching are not the same. Mulching is no more than 2 inches deep, and mounding is bound to cause trouble at some point once it's been there long enough. So whoever did it probably was thinking to keep the mulch away from the trunk, but they were still much in error. And I would highly advise even some of the, what I'll call professionals, the mulch is there from year after year. Let's just say you have a 2-inch coating. It dissipates to 1 inch over the course of the year. They add another 2, and now you've got 3 inches the following year, and so on. It just, I don't know. Some people think it looks good. It is not. Well, looks is a matter of opinion. The fact is, it can be very detrimental to trees.
I think I've heard you refer to it as the volcano mulch.
Volcano mulching, yes. And off air, it's called something else?
Yes, I believe so. Let's just move on.
That's right.
Okay. Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Howard and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
This is Michelle Wilson, host of the Business Inspires podcast from the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership. To run a successful business, you need resources, valuable connections, and community recognition. In each episode of the Business Inspires podcast, we talk with small business community leaders who will inspire you to create the business you are envisioning. The Business Inspires podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, your Alexa device, and your favorite podcast player.
Circle270media.com